Bang. We don't even have a clapper.
No.
Folks, you've tuned into the Rebel's Edge. This will be a shortened Rebel's Edge. Marc LoPresti, of course, business partner with Moneta Advisory Partners. And he and I are out here at the LD Micro Conference. And we had a beautiful 2-camera shoot in front of a green screen right out there at the LD Micro Conference. People were crowding up, watching it, coming over to shake our hands and so forth. And then the file ended up being so damn big, we couldn't get it out.
We got up early to do it early. I mean, listen, we did everything we could to make it happen the right way. But, you know, we're going to get the show. The show must go on. This is LA, Hollywood.
Yep, that's right.
The show must go on. So here we are.
Here we are. Let's hit the macro minute mark.
That's right.
The VIX pumping to the upside, up 19 almost today. That's a 49% move out of the VIX since September 15th. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is something that we've talked about a lot on this show and others, going into possibility of a government shutdown, post JPAL, what happened at the last FOMC conference, higher for longer, more rate hikes in store this year. Market go up, market go down. When? Hard to tell, but volatility is something that you can predict with a lot more certainty. I've been saying, I know Pete's been saying it too. Yep. We're going to be in a high vol situation, I think, through the end of the year.
Very likely, folks. Now, one of your favorite segments, folks, Fantastic Futures.
Fantastic Futures.
That's actually my ringtone now when you call. It's Fantastic Futures.
I might have to make that my ringtone. The 10-year is up over 4.7%. That is going to be hard for the market to push past that. And one of the reasons it's up today, Mark, is the employment data.
Yeah, that JOLTS report definitely giving investors and traders a jolt, aptly named, coming in with way more, 10 million more, I think, job openings than the street was looking for. Actually, not millions, 9.6 million that the JOLTS came in at, new job openings versus the 8.8 million the street was looking for. That's a really big delta. Stubbornly healthy job market in this country. I know that sounds like a complete contradiction in terms, but we all know JPAL wants the labor market to cool, to see that the fight against inflation is actually taking root. That JOLTS report this morning, John, giving no reason for JPAL to take his foot off the rate hike gas.
No.
1 in 3 chance of a hike. I looked at the futures earlier. 1 in 3 chance of a hike in October. And possibly even the same November. We're going to see how that plays out, but not a good thing. Of course, folks like Ray Dalio over at Bridgewater saying, hey, look, we're looking at 5. I think Ray's right.
Yep, I think Ray's right too, folks, sadly. All right, let's take a look at McCormick. So this one, the spice company, been around for a long time, but this was one of the oddest statements, Mark, that I've heard in a long time. They raised their profit forecast because they expect the higher prices that they're charging for its spices will make up for the slowing demand. When was the last time you had a hard time getting people to buy something and then you said, you know what, if I raise the price, they'll buy it?
But with the very limited exception of like the super high-end luxury goods market, right? That might work for Louis Vuitton and Hermes, but it's not working when I'm buying cumin or coriander. You know, this is a very spicy trade. I had to use that dad joke. I know my daughter's going to kill me for that. But this is another indication of what we're dealing with at a macroeconomic level here. Higher cost of borrowing. Corporations will pass that cost along to consumers. I might have to learn to use less pepper and salt in my food, which is probably good for me at the end of the day.
Well, how about Airbnb?
Yeah.
Luckily, we're not renting out our homes or our apartments for Airbnbs, but for all the people who are, they know that municipalities like New York and various other neighborhoods around the world are saying no mas to VRBOs and Airbnbs. Why? Because they don't like a bunch of strangers coming in and out, living right next door to you, in particular in apartment buildings and things. And today, KeyBank downgrades them. A week ago, it was Truist downgrading them, Mark.
Yeah, and look, this is regulatory headwind, right? The other motivation for this additional regulation from places like New York, here in Los Angeles as well, is its revenue, right? They're losing out on revenue to Airbnb that could be going into the municipal coffers in the form of taxes and fees and things of that nature. So, really pushing the envelope on what would constitute an acceptable short-term rental through these platforms, a month or more in some places. And I think you and I were talking about this earlier. What percentage of the Airbnb market is taking it for a month or more?
Probably 1 or 2%.
It's definitely low, and it certainly could be single digits. This is not good, particularly against the associated backdrop of declining demand. Summer is over. We're going into a very weak period between now and the holidays for travel, lodging, hotels, other than the conference business like the one we're at, which helps a lot of hotels get through. But I don't see that for Airbnb. So I like the company. We've made money on the stock in the past, but I got to agree this is a rather negative outlook for this company.
Well, how about a positive outlook then? Point. PNT is the symbol. The stock up over 80%. Basically, Eli Lilly steps in and says, you know what? For this particular radiopharmacological company, try to say that 3 times fast, we're going to pay $12.50 a share, almost doubling the stock overnight, Mark.
Unbelievable. Congratulations to the Point shareholders. This is interesting. I like the company. Eli, I think, buying it right, notwithstanding the premium, obviously, over what the stock was worth just a day ago. And this a specific radiology, which is what the company is involved in. It's about bringing what some folks think about as traditional radiation treatment, chemotherapy, if you will, but at the micro level, putting it exactly where it's needed in solid tumors and other types of tumoric cancers. We did, in full disclosure, I think we still have warrants in the deal. DART is the symbol, Alpha Tau Medical. So we actually have a little bit of background in this. It's exciting stuff. It's going to save lives, and congrats to the Point shareholders.
Yep. Great day to own shares of PNT. And lastly, ODD, which is Oddity Tech. Now, this is something that's near and dear to Mark's heart because they use data and influencers, and he kind of likes both, to basically power their thing called Power Match technology, where, for, believe it or not, beauty supplies and so forth, they can get these influencers pushing out various beauty products. It's a company out of Israel. It was up big today on this big revenue beat, Mark.
Yeah, listen, another testament to the power of data, using data to more accurately target your consumer, bring down your CAC, your customer acquisition cost, do things the right way. Health and beauty, particularly beauty, tends to be pretty durable, even in tough economic times. Folks still want to look good, women and men, beauty care products. John has got, you have to see his travel pouch of beauty stuff. He doesn't look as good in the morning, folks. It takes a lot. There's a process. It's a cast of thousands.
It takes a village.
It takes a small village. But joking aside, beauty does tend to be resilient. People may downgrade from the high-end L'Oreal products to something that's maybe more affordable, but beauty does tend to continue in terms of a segment, even in tough economic times. It's an odd trade. It's the second dad joke in the show. I'm sorry, but very interesting. And I don't know if I'm buying this one just yet, but I'm certainly going to put it on my watch list.
Yep, me too. This one popped up because of that big beat and because of the potential that they can use a little more AI in this one as well to really do what they do. Well, we're going to shorten it up today, folks, because as we said at the top of the show, we had to get through a file that was way too big to get out to all of you. But we appreciate all of you joining us. Tune in at 1 p.m. tomorrow instead of 1:15, 1 p.m. tomorrow for another Rebel's Edge. Thanks for joining us.